Alright, so today we have this web session about prefabricated timber roof paneling and framing in Revit. And actually we have released two new products for prefabricated roofs. And one of them is Wood Framing Roof Plus and Roof Panel Layout. My name is Renata Iucieni and I'm application engineer, and today I will be hosting this session. First, I would like to say a few words about aga-cad. aga-cad is the developer of the world's widest range of TrueBeam software for Revit, and at the moment we sold more than 10,000 licenses in different countries. We help make it easier to bring BIM to life by eliminating tasks that do not create value. So today I'm going to talk about how to automatically create individual roof panels according to any architectural roof shape, then how to simplify roof panel layout, planning and splitting, then how to create real prefabricated wood framings in the roof models, then how to define detailed multi-layered timber roof framing, and then how to automatically make sure drawings, including sorting, tagging, dimensioning, and scheduling of all the frames. Actually, Wood Framing Roof Plus is a part of the total wood framing. And here under the wood framing you can find not just solutions for the roof like trusses, rafters, and for prefabricated panels, but at the same time here we have solutions for the wall framing and floor framing. So actually it covers all house frames. So let's start first with our new product, which we have released actually today. This is official day of this product release. This is a roof panel layout, which can automatically make prefabricated roof panels. Because first we have to split it and we have to make prefabricated roof panels before the framing. So roof panel layout, it automates the process of planning and splitting. And then we will go further to Wood Framing Roof Plus, which allow you to make or to add the real frames into the model. And at the same time, it will make sure drawings. Also, we have an export to CNC machines, and today I'm going to show you one example where you can very easily make an export of any selected beam or joist and push it to any CNC machine. So what will be the workflow? Actually, our target today is to get to take architectural roof and to frame it and make real prefabricated panels and prefabricated frames. When we start with architectural roof, when we get architectural roof, first we have to split it, and here we will use roof panel layout. So actually in this case, in this picture, you can actually plan and just predefine with symbolic lines what kind of configuration you have, what kind of panels you want to have in this roof. And then later with the roof panel layout you can physically create the real roof segments or the real roof panels. And then later we can frame it using Wood Framing Roof Plus. And actually Wood Framing Roof Plus, it includes all different possibilities and options how to frame the roof. And actually for the ones who already work with the Wall Plus or with the Floor Plus, actually the procedure and the workflow will be totally the same. Just here you will be able to frame the roof segments, but it will allow you to have different options of framing where you will be able to add bridgings and blockings and different joists and so on. Yeah, so this is a workflow, which is basic workflow. So first we're going to start with architectural roof, then we're going to make a planning, then we're going to split it physically with using one product, and then we're going to frame it. Okay, so now let's go to Revit. Okay, and this is, I'm going to start with architectural project. Well, actually, this is our like recommendation. It's actually not mandatory, but we recommend in the beginning to make additional face, which will be used for prefabricated roof panels. And that's why with existing and with the new construction, we have added one more prefabricated roof face where structural engineers will add their own prefabricated roof panels, because you know that here we're going to have the real architectural model, architectural roof will stay, and then we will put prefabricated roof panels on top. So first of all, let's start with a roof panel layout, and I'm going to start with the options which allows me to make the planning. So first of all, I'm going to check the settings for the region, for creating the regions. Actually, the regions, they will be like a massive, it will be like a massive split of the roof, like the core split of the roof. And then the panels will have an options like here. So here you can predefine the spacing between the panels, and also the method how you want to split these panels. And actually all the settings you can save and use it in all your projects. And now I'm going to make the regions and panels together for all the roof. So I need just to select any roof face from architectural roof, and the tool automatically will create it. And the same let's do for the smaller side of the roof. Okay. Now we have such default settings for splitting, such default layout actually here, and now we can do anything we want. For example, this side of the roof is quite okay. Here the tool added the regions like splits which are mandatory around the opening, but still we see that in the opposite side the layout or the panels should be aligned together with this side of the roof. So here we can very easily do that. We can align layout lines. In this case, there will be two aligned lines with one line from the opposite side. And in this case, we will get the needed result. Now, in this side of the roof, we see that it is quite maybe good, but first we have to split here because it will be more logical from the structural side. So we would like to split according to the valley end. So in this case, I'm going to maybe delete the panel layout only for this side of the roof. And then I'm going to switch on this option, which allows me to split by valley ends. And now I'm going to split only one roof face. Yes, in such case we get such result. We have the red line here and everything is okay here. But now we see that in this case, in the ends of the valley, it's too much here. So that's why I'm going to join the regions. So I don't need to have this line and that line. And then we can manipulate with these two sides. So I can go to the modify panel layout. I'm going to modify the side of the roof, and I'm going to say that I should start the layout from the end, not from the start, but from the end. And again, after pressing OK, I can very easily modify this. And this side of the roof, I'm going to from the start. So everything is okay, just I'm going to make it from the start. So again, this slope, everything is okay with this slope. And now let's continue with this one. So again, it will be very easy when we can just make an alignment according to lines. Yes, and we have aligned them. Now this side of the roof, maybe actually here we have an opening, so it will be too much to have the split which will go through the opening. So I can just join it and say that here I would like to add just one panel. And again, these two the small roofs, so they could be prefabricated as one, and there is no need to split it additionally. Okay, so that is kind of our layout which we have created. And if everything is okay, we can now make the real panels. So now I'm going to creating option, and I'm saying that I would like to create the real panels, and the same I'm going to do for the small side of the roof. And now, as you can see, now I get the real roof segments, which were automatically created according to my architectural roof. And as my current phase was the prefabricated roof phase, so that's why these panels were automatically added into the next phase. Actually, again, this is not mandatory, but we think that it will be like our recommendation, because in such case it will be very easy for you to make filters and graphical presentments and use these phases in scheduling and so on. So that's why we think that adding the additional phase, it will be, because this is like additional step, the next step. First the architect creates the roof, and then we have real prefabricated panels, which goes for structural engineers. Of course, it will also work with the linked files. So if you have possibility, or if you work with linked projects, you can very easily link architectural model, and again it will work. So you will be able to make prefabricated roof panels for the linked file. So that's it. We've finished with creating. We've finished with the first workflow step. We have created the panels, and now let's go to the next product, and now let's go to the framing process. So this is the view with the prefabricated roof panels. As you can see, in my case, this house is already framed, the walls are framed, the floors are framed using wall plus and floor plus, and now we just need to finish with the roof. First, let's check what are the layers in this roof. Actually, you can make any layers you want. In my case, I have here a frame, which is the main frame. Here we are going to put the joists, so the main joists or the rafters. Then we can add the sheeting on top, then the secondary framing, then the buttons, and then the roofing, the metal roofing, which will be on top. So this is my actually layers, but it could be any layers you want. Okay. And now let's go to the wood framing roof plus, and let's make a link between framing configurations and the layers. So I want to repeat once again that for those who already work with wall plus or floor plus, the roof plus will have totally the same workflow. So you will know how to work with the roof plus if you know how to work with the walls or with the floor frames, because again it's totally the same procedure and totally the same scenario. You have to make your own framing configuration, and then you have to make a link between your roof type and framing configurations. So in this case, I'm saying that here I'm going to add the main frame, and using this framing configuration, then I'm going here to add the sheeting, and we're going to split the sheeting into the segments. Then we're going to add the secondary framing, then the buttons, and then the roofing on top. Yes, so that could be my my configuration for this roof type. Okay, and actually you have to do this just one time for this type, and the tool will remember this, so you will not need to do this each time again. And let's frame the roof. So now let's add the main framing to the main layer. The buttons and the roofing we will add with the next steps. Now let's see if everything is okay with the main frame. Okay. Yes. So the tool has created the frames automatically according to our predefined settings. And now let's take a look into the framing configuration. what kind of settings we have in this new product. So you can filter separately framing configurations for the main frame, for the buttons, for the roofing, and for the secondary frames. And these configurations are just default configurations, and you can save and have your own, and actually you will be able to share these configurations with your colleagues if needed. So only one user from the company can create these configurations, and these configurations could be added somewhere into the server. Okay, and here you just need to select the families which will be used for the joists, for the rim joists, and then the spacing between the joists, let's say the rim joists again, how many rim joists you are going to add, or maybe to add some offsets around the roof panel. Then there are opening framings where you can predefine settings for the trimmers and for the headers and for the sills. So we will come back to the opening framing later. Then there are the end connections, then the bridgings, blockings, and noggings. Actually, there are different types of them. There are different types of rules where you can select. For example, in this case, this is a top trimmer, which is added from the end. It is added on from the external side with such offset from the end face. And this is only one element. So this is kind of rule which we have used for such top trimmer. And of course you can predefine any kind of your own families and with your own sizes, and predefine your own rules where exactly you want to put these elements. So that's why with adding bridgings, blockings, and noggings, we have all these horizontal elements which were added automatically into our panel. Then, if needed, we can add the secondary joist system, then the bracings if needed additionally, or additional bridgings and blockings, or additional joists. So there are default settings for adding them. Then we can add the details automatically, or the service walls. Okay, and yeah, so all the settings you can save and keep them for the future projects or for other roof panels. Now, let's say if we want to modify something and we want to make modification, let's say for this opening. So it's very easy. If you want to make some custom changes, let's go to, for example, to the modify opening framing. And here we can say that the header should be like a skylight. So it will be a totally different framing above this opening. So after pressing OK, now the tool will change this header and will adjust it for the skylight. And here we are going to add OSB board, so we can add it additionally again with adding additional bridging, blocking, and nogging. I'm saying that it will be here, and I'm going to select the family which I'm going to add, and it should be from the shorter connected element end. Here you can predefine again the offset or the spacing. Okay, and it will be in the center. Yes, so after pressing OK, we have such board, and to making sure, I just want to open the section view and show you where exactly it is located. So we did this frame as a skylight, so that's why these two frames were moved, and now we can put here some OSB or any other element. And as you can see, all the layers, they are exactly in the right place. So we have added all these frames into the main layer, and these other layers, they are not just filled up, so we're going to do that soon. So after adding the main frame, we can continue with let's say the sheeting, because on the top we have the sheeting. So first let's check the sheeting configuration settings. Here you can predefine your own distances or the offsets from the base or from the top or from the end. And again, all these settings, they could be saved under your own name. And let's go to the split sheeting parts. I'm selecting any frame, and now let's go to the parts visibility. I will switch show parts to making sure that here we have these sheeting panels. And the same let's do with this roof, and then with this roof segment. Yeah, so here we have the sheeting segments and the sheeting parts. Okay, now let's continue with all other layers. So I'm going to select these layers, and yes, so now let's add the secondary frame, which will be on top of the sheeting. Okay. Yes, so here we have the secondary frame. Then let's add the buttons. So they will be horizontal elements which were added on top. And then let's add the roofing. For the roofing, I'm going to select, let's say, to making sure that we have very good result with the corners. I'm going to select these panels and let's add the roofing on top. Actually, this is a sample family with a sample profile, but if you want, actually you can modify here everything, because this is a regular family as a sweep, which is created as a sweep, so you can make your own profile if you need it. And here also with the Roof Plus we have very good features for multi-framing. Let's say if you have a big roof with a lot of panels, so we have multi-framing features which allows you to identify identical elements and very easily just copy the frames to identical roof panels. So if I'm going to use this option from the multiple framing, as you can see, it identifies totally identical elements and it actually frames very quickly. So you don't need to select and frame it manually one by one. You can just use multi-framing for getting the quick result. Now, also with the Roof Plus, we have noticed that it's very with creating Roof Plus, we have noticed that it's very difficult sometimes to add hip or valley rafters. So that's why we added the options where you can predefine your own hip or valley rafter type. And with insert the hip or valley rafters, you can select any panel and the tool automatically will add these hip or valley rafters. And again, it will be in the good place and in the good layer, and you will get really nice looking corners and connections. Yeah, because you can imagine that if you would try to do that manually, it's almost impossible to do that manually. And then finally we have to make shop drawings for these panels. So I'm going to the shop drawing configuration. Here you can predefine your own views and view templates, dimensioning rules, the text which you're going to add on top. Also, we can predefine the schedules, which will be automatically generated. So we're going to create a schedule for the main frame, for the sheeting, and for the total part list, for example. Then you can predefine here the sheeting or this title block, which will be added automatically or included into the assembly. And also we can rotate these roof panels with 90 degrees, because you know that if in the final sheet we can put it vertically, but it will look not nice, I think, in the final sheet. So that's why we can actually rotate it. Okay, and we can create assemblies. But before that, we have to fill the mark value in the roof panel, because the assembly name will take the mark parameter from the roof panel, and that's why it's empty right now. So for this one, for numbering all roof panels, we can use sort mark, which is also one of our products for just quick numbering of all elements of all roof segments. So I'm selecting any roof from the project, I'm saying that the final result I'm going to put into the mark parameter. Here I'm adding the rules, how I would like to renumber the roof segments, and after pressing OK, the tool automatically renumbered 36 roof segments. And we can see the result in the mark parameter. So now this is like a roof segment, which is 18, and here 19, and so on. So we have renumbered all roof panels from this project. And now, as we know that this is a roof number 18, we can create assembly. Yes, so this is, right now the tool is creating assembly for this roof segment. So it's adding dimensions, it's adding tags, it's making schedules automatically. Okay, and here we have these results. So if I'm going to take a look here, so this is a roof number 18. We have a 3D view, we have a front side view with a main frame, and here we have detailed dimensions which were added automatically on top. And then we have a top side view with the main frame. Also we can renumber everything, because we have an option which can automatically renumber all these frame segments automatically. Then we have a view with the sheeting. Okay, again the sheeting panels, they are numbered. Also we have these dimensions, and the opening is dimensioned. Then here we have the secondary frame separately, and then all other schedules. So like a part list, the tool also will calculate the mass or the weight of every element. Here we have the list of all these elements, or we can, let's say, make one more schedule only for the main frame. Here we have the length, the mass, the count, and the mark, which is presented in the top side view. And then, for example, one more schedule with the sheeting. So that kind of use we can get automatically, and here you will get really nice looking shop drawings automatically. So all these shop drawing functions are totally the same as we had with the walls or with the floor framing. Just with the Roof Plus we added more options in framing the front side view. As you can see now, Roof Plus can handle with all these complex shapes. So you will not need to add these dimensions manually. It will be always automatical way if you want to make this complex and add these complex dimensions. And now I'm going to open the project, which is fully framed. I would like to show you the final result of this project. Okay, and now it looks like this. So as you can see, this is a fully framed model. Also the tool automatically added the soffit above the roof panels. Okay, so we have it here, and it's fully framed with all the layers, and of course we have automatical shop drawings. Now let's come back again to my previous project, and now let's make an export to CNC machine. In this case, I'm going to show you an example with a Heidegger machine. Actually, this is only one of examples of what kind of export we can do, but we can also make an export to Weimann and different other machines. So this is an example, one example, which I'm going to show you with one machine, but it could be various machines if needed. Okay, so this is just default options, very simple options, which we're going to use, and we're going just to export one framing element, let's say to the desktop, and now let's open it. Yeah, so this is a Heidegger viewer where you can get all information about all these cuts, and here you will get all these operations detailed. And now we can push this file, this information to the cutting machine, to CNC machine. Yes, so I'm coming back to my slides, and the next is with the list of all our products. So as you can see, we have new products here in this list, and we're very proud that we have released the Roof Plus under the wood framing, where you will be able to frame the roof and make prefabricated roof panels. And then together with the Roof Plus, it's very useful to use the roof panel layout for making the planning and splitting of the roof. And actually totally the same we have done for the floors, even for the floors. So you can actually split the floors into the floor panels and then frame it using Floor Plus, let's say. Or you can use floor panel layout for making not just the wooden prefabricated panels, but also concrete panels if needed. So we have added even 3 new products into our product list. Yes, and if you want to download a trial, you can very easily download Tools from BIM Doc. This is a manager of all our products. It's very good because it allows you to make sure that you're using the latest installation, because here we have a function which allows you to see the updates automatically. And yeah, and if you want just to download, you just need to go to our webpage aga-cad.com, and there is a download Tools from BIM Doc where you can just get the installation. It's for Revit 2017 or 16 or even 15, and then just you need to activate it as a trial. So just fill the form and you will get activation code into your email. Thank you so much for your time, and have a nice day. Bye bye.